Jonas, where are you, man? Are you in Luton?
Yeah, I'm at my house in Luton, yeah.
Nice one, man.
Yeah, just chilling out. I've got, just my laptop and stuff in front of me. I was probably going to be making some beats later on, so, yeah.
Nice one, man. All right, man, tell us more about yourself. Obviously, you gave the little intro, but, like, who is Journalist and what's your background, man?
Yeah, so, wow, okay. I was brought up in South America, and when I was about 5, I moved over to England with my family. So that's why sometimes I've got a bit of an American twang. My mum's from California, and actually my dad's from Wales. So that's the bit of the mix in my accent. About 3-4 years ago, I moved up to Luton, I've just been writing. I wrote a bit in school, but it was only, kind of just messing around, not really even a serious hobby. But then about 2011, about 6 years ago, I really started writing properly, and wanting to kind of make my own music. And then about 2.5 years ago, I started actually producing my own music and putting it online and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's, up to date, really.
So what's the scene like in Luton?
The scene's all right. I mean, there's not really a whole lot going on, to be honest. There's like pub nights and open mic nights and that sort of thing. There's quite a few of them around, and I dip in and out of doing those things. But as for like the hip hop culture, there isn't really a whole lot going on, to be honest, which is a bit of a shame. So I tend to sort of gravitate more to London if I'm doing like a gig or whatever. But I do some stuff with some guys from Soul Food Poetry, and they're like a Luton-based organisation as well. So I gig with them, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, there's occasional stuff, but I can't say that it's like a really regular thing in Luton.
How's the scene in general? Do you find it easy to connect with other artists if you wanted to connect with someone for a feature or something?
Yeah, I mean, oh man. Honestly, I find artists really hard to get hold of. You can. I've got plenty of friends on Facebook that artists and things, and but I mean, you can literally. I mean, my story, a lot of it, having to, buy my own equipment and buy my own laptop and my mic gear and everything else. My own software and do my own training and stuff. On the software. A lot of that is because you spend a lot of time trying to chase up other people to help you out or to feature or whatever.
Yeah. And,
I've spent literally years, and then 9 times out of 10, they say, yeah, I'll do it. And then you chase them up and, sorry, I'm doing my own projects, I'm doing this and that. And I'm like, cool, don't worry, give me some time. So I hit them back in like another month. And then a year goes by and they're still like, oh, sorry, I'm not ready, blah, blah. So, I think, I decided a little while back that, if people are serious and they want to collaborate, then they'll contact me, and that's great. But for the most part, I'm kind of just doing my own thing, really. I mean, sometimes get friends to collaborate doing like a song vocal or whatever. But yeah, even then, I think just trying to stay on course with with what I want to do with my music and not worry too much about getting loads of people on board,
Yeah, man. And what's the music that we got for you today? That was Fade Away, we got Life Wasted coming up, and Same Old Story. So are these tracks that you've already released, or are they coming off a future project, or what's the deal?
Yeah, so okay, those particular tracks. So from a few months ago, I started making my own instrumentals, and so now I don't have to worry about copyright and all that kind of stuff. And so my lyrics are all mine. I write all my own lyrics, but because I wasn't a beat producer at the time, I had no way to get beats otherwise, of using other people's. And so those ones, like other instrumentalists, other artists, their beats. So they're all on YouTube and stuff. You can find, if you just search journalist rapper Fade Away or journalist rapper Life Wasted, you can find it all on YouTube and you can watch it on there. But as for like putting it on like Spotify or whatever else, those ones I actually can't. So I mean, the stuff that I'm releasing like from here on in is all my own stuff. It's all my own beats, all my own production and everything. So I haven't got to worry about that really.
But what were these tracks from? Were they from a project that were together, or were they singles?
Just singles. Yeah, they're all singles. I mean, I kind of write, in the mood that I'm in the moment, and then if I feel like a song, is like really hitting, then I'll record it and I'll think, yeah, okay, that's a good one, and I just basically post it up online and let people listen to it. So
that's cool, man. So how did you get into it, like into rapping itself?
Oh man, how did I get into rap? Do you know? I think it was just like everybody else. I grew up listening to Eminem and those guys. And I was a massive D12 fan, and I was listening to 50 Cent a lot as well. But I think as I grew up and my kind of perception on life changed, and I matured a bit and all that kind of stuff, I realized that a lot of the material, a lot of the stuff they were talking about, one, I was never in that culture. I've never been in gangs. I've never, dealt drugs or anything like that. So it wasn't all that relatable to me. But also, it was just kind of samey. I really wanted to get back to the grassroots of, some of the rappers, like the underground rappers. So, in 2011, I burnt myself out pretty badly. I was basically just working horrific hours. I think I was like doing 90 hours a week or something. And, serving at my church and, doing loads of stuff and basically just burning the candle at both ends. And so I spent the next kind of 3 months on the couch, really ill and not really being able to do a whole lot. And that was really where my love for hip hop, exploded. I mean, I listened before, but, then it started to become really real. So I was listening to really underground guys that most people probably haven't heard of, but Cam Meekins, I listened to a lot of him, and Lupe Fiasco. I mean, he's obviously one of the greats, but he's a bit more famous. But then there was like people like Blue Scholars, really, really great rappers, and just listening to the stuff they were talking about, and they were talking about just everyday life and the things that they saw on the news, and just culture as a whole, and all that kind of stuff. And I thought, yeah, okay, these are guys that I can get on board with. These are guys that really inspire me to write. So I think that's kind of really where the step for me came. Finding a style of rap, because I think that's another thing that people don't understand is there's so many different styles of rap, so many different styles of hip hop. So I'm definitely much more on the chill hop side of stuff, although I like, occasional kind of like gangster beats, all those kind of things. But I'm much more on the chill hop side of stuff.